Hello and welcome. It is 8:30. It is the 23rd day of February 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. It's way too early. Support me, Water. I need a sponsor, and I will sell out. Yesterday, we announced that Wizards of the Coast was going to announce today the next D&D book for 2021. We already had the Candlekeep Book of Mysteries, which some people thought was great and some people thought was like dumb, but we knew there was going to be at least two more. And yesterday they said, we're going to announce the second one. And they have announced it this morning at 8 o'clock. It went live, what it was. And I'm glad to report that it is not another Magic the Gathering book. In fact, many of you Grokenards like myself will be very excited to see what the title is, because the brand new title that they are releasing for 5th edition is, drum roll please, Ravenloft! Yes, hello children, yes, spookies, yes, it is I, Dr. Falderall, and it is time to tell you that yes, it is Ravenloft. We are returning to the land beyond the mist. A 5th edition version of the brand new setting that no one's ever heard of before, Ravenloft. Which, of course, yes, we know Ravenloft is one of the oldest expansion, not D&D settings. Ravenloft and Curse of Strahd are considered two of the best ever made. Curse of Strahd is considered possibly the best 5th edition adventure, and Ravenloft is considered one of the best, if not the best, D&D adventures. There are some very positive things to say about the Ravenloft world. There's some very negative things to say about the Ravenloft world. First and foremost, it is not D&D. It may be a D20 system, but Ravenloft is a completely different setting. And if you're thinking you're going to play D&D in a Ravenloft, no, it is completely different. It is Gothic, Universal Monsters horror. It is not bright and shiny. The good guys are going to win. We're going to go in a dungeon. It's Ravenloft. Of course, it's going to be the politically correct Ravenloft, which means they're not going to be called the Vishanti anymore, and vampires probably won't be evil anymore, but whatever. It is still Ravenloft. I see this as mostly a good thing. It's going to be 5th edition Ravenloft, so it's going to be sugar-coated rainbows and unicorns and politically correct Ravenloft, but hopefully Wizards of the Coast will still, in some way, shape, or form, hold on to the kernel of the awesomeness that was the original Ravenloft and the tragic story of Count Strahd and Dr. Falderall and the Lords of the Mist and the first Demiplane. So very, all in all, generally good news. I am tentatively excited that Ravenloft is the title they have chosen to go for, as opposed to what we all thought it was going to be, another Magic the Gathering book for D&D. This is definitely a nod to us older players, us 3rd edition players, us 2nd edition players who experienced Ravenloft for the very first time, who loved Ravenloft, who understood that Gothic horror role-playing in the world of Ravenloft is completely different than regular D&D, even though it still uses a D20 system. It is let me say again, this is a completely separate world, or at least it used to be. Now, knowing 5th edition, it's probably just going to be, Ravenloft's just another continent on the Forgotten Realms and all that old spooky stuff. This is happy unicorn, politically correct. There are no evil races. But still, I hope that they will maintain enough of the classic Gothic horror, Universal Monster, 1950s black and white terror, Victorian England, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen feel of original Ravenloft, that it'll be worth it. It'll be hopefully something that us Grokenards can say, okay, 5th edition, you've finally done something that gives a nod to our generation, and still be open enough to the newer stuff that the new players will be like, oh, this is cool and I want to play with it. And then maybe once they see that there are other ways, here's what I hope, is maybe this will be a way for 5th edition players to see that yes, there is an amazing tradition to this game that needs to be respected and preserved. There are other ways to play this game besides the happy, politically correct unicorns and rainbows, critical role way of play. You can do gothic horror and make it a viable, separate from D&D way to play D&D. And hopefully it'll introduce 5th edition players and newer players to the quality, quantity, classic, amazing history of the game, other ways to show the game, open the door to the OSR, open the door to appreciating the art of the past of the hobby while we continue to go forward, and going forward, introduce new players to other worlds, other ways to play, that there are other games out there, that there is a rich history out there, that all in all, this will be a good thing. It will acknowledge the past, embrace the present, and create a much better, less toxic future for the game. So I am tentatively excited, cautiously optimistic, that a Von Richter's Guide to Ravenloft for 5th edition is a good thing. Let's hope I'm not wrong. Anyways, that is the big news. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. If you're excited about seeing a 5th edition visit to the beloved realm of Bavaria, give a thumbs up. Let me know down below. If you don't want to see this, let me know down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 500 subs by August 4th, and we'll do something spooky since it's now Ravenloft season. And I'll see you later in your nightmares. Ravenloft spooky, vampires, blah.